Hey guys, we're back with the letter. I'm back. It's been like 4 hours since I last recorded. I was like, okay, study for my math final? Nah, let's play the letter. I've been studying, I'm just taking a break. Anyway, we're on Zachary's now, and although we're only 2 episodes in, I've been enjoying it a lot more than, well, I mean, the first 3 outs are all pretty good. Well, yeah, it's chapters, whatever you want to call them. Like Isabella's, there's padding, but it's kind of, most of it was necessary. Same with Hannah's. But Zachary's, I think Zachary's job probably was the best paced. Maybe, I mean, Luke's was pretty good too. There wasn't like Luke's had maybe like 20 minutes you could cut out. Mainly that bit with Kylie. Marianne's was just, you could cut all of Marianne's out, and what do you miss? I mean, because her out's not really attached to anyone. It's like, you know what I mean? I can only wish the dreams will keep at a distance for now, for both of us. Let me cough. Where's the mute button? There we go. First few notes, while muffled, were enough to wake me up. In the end, it became one of those nights where, when sleep passes like a blink and is plagued with vague, fuzzy thoughts. I left a hand to rub away the drowsiness from my eyes, although it does little to relieve the gritty, burning sensation from my eyelids. Outside, the sun has yet to peek over the horizon, but night has already given way to the cool morning light, washing everything in subtle, gray hues. At this hour, the entire city remains unstirring. Just answer your phone! Ordinarily, waking up before my alarm means... Oh, that's the alarm. Means abusing the snooze button, twice or thrice, just to catch those precious few extra minutes of sleep. But the persistent ringing makes it impossible now.
This better be good.
Oh, it's a phone. Groggily, I scrambled for the bag sitting at the foot of the bed. The ringing still hasn't stopped even as I fish the phone out. Etched its name flashes brightly on the screen when I turn it on. Are we... No, okay. Because something like this happened at the start of Zachary's job. Almost exactly like this, maybe. Must be pretty urgent if he hasn't dropped the call yet.
Took you long enough, Z-Man.
Ashton, it's 6 in the morning. Sun hasn't even risen. Hell, my brain ain't even awake yet.
I think that's the exact same line he said in.
Stop calling me Z-Man.
It's 20 past 6, Zach.
Ooh.
You want to talk? Give me back
Actually,
my
it's
5
no.
extra minutes, Ash. I want my sleep.
Hey, don't make fun of me. I can be a more person too if I want to.
Saying everyone happy is weird.
What's this all really about? You don't usually make calls around this hour. Is the world ending today?
Sorry about that. Becca rang me up a few minutes ago looking for Isabella. Said she didn't show up in her own apartment last night. We both tried calling, but her phone seems to be off. Do you have any idea where...
I should have known you two would come looking for her first thing in the morning.
Not a laughing matter, Zach. You can't really let your guard down with everything that's happened here recently. You've heard about the Cooper woman from the news. Everyone in the precinct has been restless ever since the incident the other day.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Listen, Ash, about Bella.
I let my voice trail off, unsure of how to go about your counting last night. I shouldn't even say anything to him. He might be a close friend, but at the end of the day, whatever's bothering him ain't mine to speak of in the first place. On the bed, Isabella remains as still as when I transferred her to the night before. Sometimes during her sleep, she pulls up a blanket over herself and tucked into it comfortably. Shouldn't that be she pulled? Like this, it's easy to forget the horror in her eyes, or how much her hand and lips trembled. Save for her firm grip on the edge of the covers, she appears nearly as normal as she would any other day. Almost.
I'm not really sure how to go about this while being...
Zach, what about her?
Something, the worry, the concern, must have surfaced in my tone. He's his own shifts then. Carefully, as if he's preparing for the worst.
Look, you don't have to worry about her. She's with me right now. Since last night, in fact.
Oh, why didn't you just say so earlier?
She kinda knocked in the middle of the night. I couldn't possibly wake you two over that. And with how things are when she arrived, I thought it'd be best if I let her rest first. I just wasn't expecting people would be looking for her before the rooster even crows.
You could have at least called her something. Becca's beside herself with worry when she found out. You know how much she frets about the smallest stuff.
I know. I'm sorry. That was a lapse on my part. And I just didn't think, Okay, you know what? Rebecca's worries ain't completely baseless. Isabella hasn't been her usual self since the movie. Maybe even before that. I don't know if I should be opening my mouth about this, but Bella didn't outright say I shouldn't, so
So something's wrong then?
I'm not quite sure, to be completely honest. I couldn't get the story out of her.
I haven't said anything in like a minute, so I'm just letting you guys know I'm still alive.
Really? I thought you'd have learned something from me by now.
That's not it. Ash, when she appeared at my doorstep last night, she was shaking, and when I tried to ask her about it, she just panicked. Had this frightened look on her face. I'd be surprised if this was the first time I've seen it, but it ain't. Dude, the first time, she was screaming.
First time? When was this? You weren't talking about the thing in the movie house, are you? Because that was just us fooling around. Granted, I think I went overboard with the joke, but...
No, it happened the day after. When she invited us to lunch, you weren't there.
What happened at the lunch? So there's that choice. My instant noodle days are over. Did something happen then?
We were walking one second, and then the next, she's crying out.
Oh, did they leave and like see the ghost? Maybe?
I'll be straight with you. That scared me shitless.
It bothered him, the way he falls silent after his telling. But whatever his opinion is, stays absent from his voice when he speaks again. He's always been good with that, hiding what he thinks.
Did she say anything else?
Nothing. Won't tell me anything aside from a few vague words. I didn't want to push it.
Where is she? Is she still sleeping?
Right here with me, still sleeping. Should I wake her up or something? Let her know you guys are looking for her?
No need. Let her rest. I'll drop by in a few.
Today? Don't you have work at this time? I mean, I can drop her off home myself before meeting my client later.
Look who's talking.
My schedule's flexible, Ash. Last time I checked, you're the one who didn't have that luxury. How on earth do you think I'm able to tag along when you need me?
It's not completely out of the way.
They live on the other side of the town from you, Ash. Your definition of out of the way is a little screwed up, you know.
It's fine. I have some things I need to do anyway. I'll call you back. I've got to let Becca know that Scared Cat's fine.
Scaredy cat! He drops the call before I can even get a word in. For several minutes after, I find myself simply listening as the rest of Luxburn rouses. It's not Luxborn. Come morning, Zachary receives a phone call from Ashton, who's looking for Isabella. Zachary informed him that she stayed over and of the circumstances. Before ending the call, Ashton offered to pick her up. How's everyone's relationship? I imagine in Luke's route we'll be able to max the relationship with Hannah. They wouldn't just make it so you can't max everyone's bars, I think. Unless, you know, those two characters don't interact. It's interesting that Hannah and Rebecca don't have any. Anyway, the increasing sound of passing traffic, the bustle of the nearby shops preparing for the day, and the growing clamor of the people while they go about their morning. Not the most soothing sounds to hear following a troubled night, but the routine puts me at ease nevertheless. What's comforting, what's safe, what I'm used to. Nearby, Isabella shifts but doesn't wake. Blissfully unaware as the city slowly stirs itself back to life. Was your night as restless as the one I had? Were your dreams as lucid? What is this song? I think this is the... Like, when it opened up, it sounded like one we've heard before, but... I'm gonna turn it down a little, because it seems louder than other songs. But, it's good. Just, I don't think we've heard it before. In hushed moments like this, I envy her. Unreasonable, probably a little unfair, to say such in light of last night. If only forgetting is as easy as breathing. Small yawn escapes me when I rise from the couch to stretch. I like that it does this, someone lets out a scream and there's a screaming sound effect from said person. Or, a small yawn and there's actually a small yawn that plays. Just a nice touch. Luckily, this short conversation with the Ash has effectively driven away any will to go back to bed. Still have a day to get through despite the proverbial ghosts hanging around. The orange bottle sitting at the edge of my table is reassuring against my palm the instant I pick it up. The sterile odor of the capsules equally so. Yet the weight they carry is something I've never gotten used to. Years ago, I'd spend minutes, heck, even hours staring at a single pill prior to taking one in. Now it's just routine, way to stave off the unwanted nightly visits. Although, I don't think Dr. Navarro will be quite pleased if he ever finds out I'm relying on them again. I do owe him a visit regardless, especially after missing our appointments on purpose and ignoring his calls for weeks. Another sigh comes out, tired and weary. Then I pop the tablet in my mouth.
Zach? What time is it?
The bottle in my hand hits the table with more force than necessary. As much as I trust my friends, there are some things I'd rather keep to myself.
Morning, Bella. Did you sleep well?
Tell her the time! 6:20! Well, probably like 6:25, 6:30 maybe. She answers the question with a long drawn-out yawn, one reminiscent of a child. A chuckle manages to come out of my mouth at the sight. In this manner, it's easy to mistake her for someone too young for responsibilities. How old is she, like 25? 26. Alright, Hannah's 31 and Zach's 30? 31. Inexperienced and immature even. Used to forget she was such another role of an adult earlier than her own dreams could afford, to overlook how surprisingly observant she can be at times. Maybe not on the same level Ash exercises for his investigations, or Rebecca needs for her own work. But it's certainly enough to deftly put what she sees around her on canvas. And if the way her eyes flickers on the table, and my hands say something, it is what I won't be able to avoid the questions this time.
Only a little. I don't remember how I ended up on the bed, though.
Ma doing? You didn't look very comfortable sleeping on the couch, all hunched up like that.
It would have been enough for something temporary. Sorry I stole your bed.
Hey, it doesn't matter. Besides, what kind of gentleman would I be if I leave a lady sleeping in such uncomfortable conditions? Not in this house. My nana will give me a tough scolding if I ever did that, I'm telling you.
Thanks a lot, Zach. I know I barged in at a very inconvenient time last night. I wasn't really thinking when I did, and...
Hey, it's cool, Bella. I ain't mad at you. That's what friends do. You guys are welcome here anytime. Although Ashton abuses the anytime part a lot. I don't really mind. We might have less wiggle room if all four of us are present, considering the size of this place. But as long as no one makes anything explode, it's totally fine.
Fine or not, I still owe you one for last night's trouble, especially since you don't seem to be...
A concerned expression passes over her features as she spares another cursory glance over the table, back to the bottle holding every small piece of what keeps the bad memories at bay. The blood blooming over Pa's heart, the horrified look on Mom's face as she watches him fall lifeless to the ground, every ounce of spite seeping from the stranger's smile. You don't belong here. You monkeys don't belong here. Never stops, does it?
Well, you don't seem to be feeling well. Let me know, okay? I'll make it up to you somehow.
She makes a slight gesture with her head towards the bottle. Asking a question without really asking. Subtlety has never been one of her greatest assets, but right now, even Ash would have been a little amazed, if not at a loss for words at that. She's left it up to me whether I'll ever give her the response she wants to hear or not. Little clever coming from her. Anyone would ask me. Alright. I saw the full start earlier today. I don't have it up right now, but it's tell the truth. Which, I mean, that seems like the logical thing. It's never easy, ain't it? Talking about my own problems, that is. Never will be. Not by a long shot. Now when I've let it stay this way for so long. I realized that long ago, when the wounds are still fresh and the dreams are a nightly occurrence. You can't force yourself to get better or move on to better things. It's what's normal now, and I can only cope. The question in her eyes may be unwarranted, or simply out of curiosity and sincere concern for a friend. I don't owe her an explanation, in fact. But of all the people I keep close in my life, she's probably one of the very few who perhaps I can trust with this. Maybe she won't understand entirely. I can never hope she will. No, never to the full extent. That alone is expecting too much of her, giving too much of what I can. However, for all of her shortcomings, no she'll hear me out. What's with Isabella's hair? So, is that just a regular ponytail, or is that like a side ponytail? But, because I'm pretty sure she has just a normal ponytail, but the perspective of it makes it look like it's a side ponytail. So which one is it? That's all I can ask of her.
My bad. I was kind of hoping you wouldn't have seen me with these.
Hold on. Isabella. Still hard to tell. The pills rattle lightly against the container when I gently set it back to its usual place. Always the small area closest to my laptop, near the right hand. Within reach whenever, and a quiet reminder of what I shouldn't miss every day.
What? Oh, is it bad? I was just thinking that maybe it's a cold like Becca's. Do you need me to get anything from the store? Soup or something? There's one nearby, right? I can run real quick and...
No, nothing of that sort. I'm perfectly healthy right now. It's really difficult to say, but can you promise me you'll listen at least?
What is this about, Zach?
I should have been upfront with you about this a long time ago. But Ashton found out without me telling him anything. But you already know how that guy is. Can't hide anything from him.
Yeah, it's almost like he's a detective.
If it's something you're having trouble saying, you don't have to force yourself to tell me. I'll forget I ever saw anything and won't ask questions. Promise.
No, I need to get this off my chest eventually. Besides, we're already here. Might as well finish what I started, yeah?
If you say so.
She takes a seat on the couch, her posture easy and open, and her smile honest. As if this is simply a talk between two friends on a regular day. It's far from one, but her unreserved air is enough to stamp down the twinge of unease that threatens to come up.
Let's hear it then.
And she does. Feels like yesterday. The achievement is a bottle of pills tipped over with pills coming out. Right away on the tree, right there. True to her words, she listens while the story spills out of my mouth. My ma and pa, that old little diner across the pond. What had left of me that day. Can't recall most of it now, my own account jagged with a few missing details here and there. The passing years have eroded most of my recollection of the whole incident. All except for that one moment in the kitchen. The ringing of gunshots are as vivid as it sounded that day. Okay, so it wasn't arson, it was a gunshot. Well, both are valid. Even Ma's hysterical screams the moment Pa's body hit the floor motionless, his lifeblood flowing out from under him. And the gunman, you're smiling. You're smiling when Pa opened the door to welcome him. You're smiling when he put the bullet in Pa's chest and Mom's head. Heard stories of how the world can be a cruel place for people like us before. Never believed until that moment.
Nan and Gran took us right after that. Sis and I flew straight to New Jersey as soon as they heard the news. A few days after, Ma and Pa were laid to rest.
That's from New Jersey.
And we have a new home a continent away. I didn't even get the chance to take my favorite pillow with me.
What, is darkness making Kimura? No!
They said something about the change of environment will be good for us. They had no idea the different kind of ghosts would follow me here.
Expecting questions, mostly those brimming with childlike curiosity, maybe some that are a little too hard to answer. But to her credit, she just sat there, under her ears, and looked at me with no expectations or unnecessary judgment in her eyes. She appears wiser and older like this. Easier to see the breadwinner in her. Her younger siblings are lucky to have her. When I'm done, after everything's been said, she wraps her arms around me. Bit awkward considering the gap in our heights. But it gets her sentiment across. But it's difficult to answer this in kind. Am I even supposed to recuperate? The gesture, given my earlier apprehension. Pulls away shortly with a smile on her face. Not the reaction I braced myself for, but it's obviously better than what I imagined.
Are you not gonna say anything?
Am I supposed to say anything after? Like, apologize or something? I don't think that's very appropriate, but if you want to hear one, I can think of something real quick.
Not really. Other people have something to say after usually. And they're not necessarily nice either.
Oh? Okay then. I won't. I can't think of something anyway. Sorry. I'm not very good with this. Who else knows, by the way?
I can relate to that. Like, when someone tells me something serious, like, what am I supposed to do?
My older sister, grandparents, and just Ash and you for now. Maybe I think I should tell Rebecca too, but...
But not right now?
Yeah, not right now. When I'm ready. Like today.
I mean, it's not like you should just go up to Rebecca and be like, hey, what's up? My parents, they got shot.
I'm sure she'll be willing to hear you out once you do.
I don't doubt she will. I'm more afraid of how she'll react after. One step at a time, yeah? Whew! Surprisingly, it feels good to get that one out my chest. I was a little afraid you'd be angrier. I didn't tell you earlier than today.
I'm not angry. I'm just surprised. You didn't look like it. I wouldn't have suspected. I suppose that's how it often is, isn't it? We all have our... what's the word Becca uses? Inner demons?
That's 2 words?
But this is something personal to you. I understand why you'd rather have a few people know.
That too. Well, these past few weeks haven't been easy for you. I didn't want to add that. Not after last night.
Something passes in her face. Oh yeah, ghosts exist. Brief fleeting, it disappears right before I can recognize what it is.
You okay?
Yep, no worries. I'll be fine. Look, about last night, never mind. This isn't a good time, but don't lose sleep over this, alright? What's important is you got what you want to say out, and if you need me, I'll be here.
I should be relieved. Her words are more than reassuring to my ears. There should be comfort in hearing those alone, knowing I have another person to rely on if things go bad. But somehow, I find myself worrying more for her instead. I'll make another attempt to get the story out of her if I can. But if this is a dance I know all too well, with her, without forcing her to say something would yield any results. Especially as I want to imitate Ash, there's only so much I can ask that won't result in something a little over disastrous. At best, she'll stop talking to me until a week passes. At worst, I'd rather not risk it. Never seen her angry. Outright annoyed, maybe, not directed at Ash, but never furious. What did they say again about Happy's people when angered? Besides, it'd be unfair to her after our little chat.
So, food then?
She seems relieved at the brisk change of subject, as if it had been simply waiting for its cue all this time. Her stomach grumbles at the mention of food. Rather loudly, as a matter of fact.
Alrighty, Missy. We're going to get some chow now. Better be quick, though. Can't have your stomach starting a revolution on us here.
So, Zachary just said chow and called her Missy. That's, Zachary just moved down the tier list.
Don't make fun of me. I'm not that hungry. Maybe a little. I didn't think I'd end up skipping dinner last night.
And now we have one starved stomach protesting. Sorry, it'll be nothing fancy, since I'm a little low on stocks. I should probably drop by the grocery store after the meeting this afternoon.
I can make a quick run for you if you want.
Nah, I've got enough to put together something nice here. Maybe. I could always improvise if we're missing an ingredient or two. It ain't like we're going for a Michelin 3-star status here. Also, didn't I say you're a guest? Is this a Filipino thing? Or just Rebecca rubbing off on you?
But it's I mean, that makes so much... It's Filipino, but when I read that, I thought Filipino. But I mean, Filipino makes... I mean, there's an I there, that makes sense, yeah. I'm not good with words. The soft laughter that comes from her doesn't quite reach your eyes. Neither. The answer's neither. Because if she stays idle, she'll remember.
On second thought, I might need a little help slicing up the potatoes while I prep the ham. You up for that?
What? Do you think instant noodles are all I'm about?
Yes.
I'll have you know, I can cook a mean paella with my eyes closed. All my siblings love it.
Wait, hold on. Does she have one or two choices regarding instant noodles in here now? Well, she has one involving eating other... that's technically...
Sure you can. Come on. I think I know what we'll do with those spare ingredients.
We have leaked footage from the Heavensfield visual novel that came out like over a decade ago. But Emily suffered from a trauma ever since his parents were killed in a hate crime. Isabella could only offer him a comforting hug. To lighten the mood, the two decided to cook breakfast afterwards. Despite the massive effort in keeping the mood light with small chatter, cooking ends up being a mostly quiet affair. Between us, the consistent clapping of the knife against the board and the muffled noise from the television I left running, words have become surprisingly difficult to string together. Not entirely unusual, we've had moments like this before, but definitely unnerving, with how things are now. I really wish someone else will come knocking at the door. Ashton? As pleasant as this is, breaking the ice or keeping a conversation going has never been my forte. It's always been Isabella's or Rebecca's department. Sometimes Ash's, although most coming from him border on awkward or embarrassing. Speaking of the guy, he never did call back. Wait, did Ashton not say he's coming to pick her? Hold on. Well, you can't go back up that far. Moiling about my entire yearly salary that he fell right back to sleep after that call.
Sorry, Bella. Could you...
Yep, I got it. The potatoes are almost ready, by the way. I turned down the heat just in case. You might want to check on them, though. Hold on! I'll be right there! Sheesh! Wait up!
It's a side ponytail.
If you keep rapping at the door like that, you'll break it down! Ash!
Oh, good. You're awake.
Ash has already welcomed himself in when I take my eyes away from the oven. He's never really been keen with the notion of courtesies after he's warmed up to you, this guy. All 13 of my logs he broke can attest to the... Did he broke his logs? That's not cool, Ashton. He's a good fellow, though. Maybe a tad bit standoffish at first glance, but he's trustworthy.
Don't you have work today?
Well, what's the, when I think of standoffish, I think of, Grisaya, so, what, Mr. Standoffish, or Standoffish Man? I forget.
I could ask the same of you.
There's nicknames in Grisaya. The most famous one is Juicy Yuji, but there's two other ones. One is like Standoffish Man, the others I forget.
Hey, Izzy, man.
You're late. Something came up? You need to drop the Z-Man. It's getting old.
Sorry, I got caught with something at the precinct on the way here. Had to attend to that first before things got out of hand. I'd tell you about it, but you know how it can be with those kinds of things. Later, maybe.
And you're here because...
What? I'm not allowed to say hello?
I doubt you're here because of that. And you're not answering my question.
Ah, my bad. Forgot to mention that. He called earlier looking for you. Rebecca's worried because you didn't come home last night.
You could have called my cell instead.
You weren't picking up. Anyway, I'd really hate to cut this little get-together short, but I need to be somewhere else. Come on, Isabella, let's get you home. I'll drop you off on the way.
Breakfast!
Wait, we're going now?
He lightly claps a hand on her arm and begins ushering her out of the apartment, throwing a casual wave at me as they pass. Isabella, on the other hand, doesn't appear too fond of the idea. Sure enough, before they can even cross the threshold, she put a firm foot down, the force alone enough to halt them both and catch the taller man off guard. Would have made for a funny picture. The way Ash almost crashed into her, and Isabella giving him an indignant pout over her shoulder. Surprising and confusion are in his face all at once. Two things that rarely ever graze, yet if you can help it. Rare moment even for our small group. If only I have my camera with me. Dang.
What is it?
Zachary? Back to top of the tier list. He said dang instead of dang. I have to censor it, so dang is to get it.
Zach cooked something.
If it's just food, I'll get you something on the way back.
But the food! It's Zach's cooking. Real delicious food that actually tastes like food. At least stay and have a bite. Please? Zach, help me here.
These two, whenever they're in the same room, sometimes it feels like hurting a group of unruly kids instead of talking to two mature adults. One moment they're engaged in pleasant chit-chat, and the next, they're bickering over a minor issue. Frankly, if I didn't know any better, I have an overactive imagination, say there's something going on. Never mind how utterly impossible that idea is. Or it might just be me reading too much into things like always. I can already hear Ash's laughter if I so much as suggest such. This, however, I remember, I think it's this one. I mean that seems like the right thing to do, but at the same time, I want to make sure, best possible outcome. So check the... I have to go back. I exited out of it. What's... Community guides. Full track guide finished, and we're on... Click that. Oh, make sure not to accident... Because, where is this? You should stay. You should go. I mean, I assume maybe they rewarded it. I don't know. Cooked up a
I don't know about you two, but I think you guys should really stay. I've already made enough food for all of us, and it'd be a waste. Why, I cooked up that special honey glazed ham you two keep on yapping about. Got some scalloped potatoes with onions and cheddar to go with it too.
Oven timer dings. Oh, I thought like a light bulb went off over Ash's head. He was like, food! I showed the two of them an apologetic look before sauntering over to the kitchen, mittens in hand. Well, do you say mittens in hand or mittens on hand? Wait, what's the... Or maybe he's just holding the mitten. Like, the sweet smell of the glaze and the salty tang in the milk. Nope. Nah, soup, please. Come on. Nope. And... it's appealing enough that when I put the tissues down on the counter, another starved stomach protests loudly, followed by a burst of laughter. My head snaps up at the two of them. I can't keep back the smile at the sight they make. Isabella's clinging to the door frame for support, doubled over with breathless laughter. Ash is more composed to the two, trying to look unconcerned, but a flush has crept up his neck and cheeks. It's clear whose stomach that came from, and Isabella's not trying to let him live this down.
You're in no place to reject an offer of free food, Frey.
I wasn't rejecting anything. Damn it, I just missed a meal, that's all.
You see, this is why Ash is bottom of the tier list. Gotta say, dang it.
Aw, he's flustered.
Shut it! Those guys at the precinct said it was urgent. Somebody has to be responsible for it.
Well, aren't you precious?
Right. You know, if you keep laughing like that, you'll burst.
I'm sure it won't be as bad as your stomach suddenly rumbling like a starved.
Aight, kiddos, play nice. Food's gonna get cold if we keep this up. Ash, you gonna stay?
Might as well, since Scaredy Cat's so hell-bent on staying.
Oh yeah, I'll turn the volume back up since I turned, like, it's slight change. Oh, CG. A hearty meal. Everyone's alive and happy. Wow. This is weird. We eventually settle down after the food has been served. The jibes replaced by another round of friendly chatter, mostly after what's on the news the night before. There is, however, look at the news the night before. Hey, Isabella, remember how your friend died? However, a conscious effort to avoid mentioning what's currently on the headlines. The dead is never a good topic to talk over food in polite company, this case in particular. The wounds are too fresh, too soon. I'd likely avoid it as well if I were in her position, someone I personally knew passed away in a gruesome manner like that. Though perhaps the closest we got to broaching the topic is when the infamous mansion is brought up again. But even then, we're careful, Ash and I. We keep the conversation light and avoid bringing up her late business partner. It's the least we could do.
The Wrights? Yeah, they're planning to move in soon. In fact, they already have a housewarming party planned. It's why they wanted us to rush the papers. They wanted to send the invitations out as soon as possible.
Oh, now I get it.
Get what?
Remember what I told you last night about the new clients?
Vaguely? Sorry, I was a little out of it yesterday. Was it the photo shoot?
Yep, it's actually for the one you sold. Ermite, something. When you put it that way, I suppose it makes sense why my boss wants me to prioritize the couple.
And Ash is about to freak out, be like, the Wrights!
They can have those documents rushed at just a snap of their fingers. And they're more influential than I initially thought. And I guess my boss is expecting a lot more from this project than I expected. Hope I can live up to it.
Your photographs are more than good enough, Zach. You'd probably win an international award if you let yourself. Ma'am Hana's easy to please, too. As long as you're good at following instructions.
Easier said than done. Different clients have different tastes after all.
Still, a week? I don't think that's possible.
Now that you mentioned it, yeah. They wanted everything finished at the earliest. To be honest, it's not unheard of, but...
But it's still weird. Still weird, yeah?
Fishy! A slip of the tongue. Still barely noticeable to someone who's already familiar with Ash's ways, yet in this moment, it's impossible to miss. I shoot him a curious glance, but he ignores it. Rather pointedly.
I can't exactly say it's like that, where I'm just the middleman after all. As much as I want to comment on it, I only know what's on the surface, not the in and outs. It's just that BRC and my boss are more hands-on with the legal stuff this time, despite having a separate department dedicated to it.
Maybe Mr. Wright helped with it too. They have their own legal team for this, don't they?
Well, they should have one. Especially for a big property like this.
They have, but like I said, it's off our hands. Rose and I don't handle this stuff in the office. If anything, to me, this just means I'll be able to send the rest of the funds to Papa's treatment earlier.
I guess that makes a whole lot of sense. Officially off our instant noodle diet, aren't we?
Woo!
Ash, has anyone ever told you that you have an uncanny way of ruining the mood?
Oh, did the CG change for expression?
What? I was just saying. A few more months of stuffing your face with those, and I'm sure you'll start to look like a noodle cup. That's a pretty picture.
That's there's some kind of Final Fantasy 15 reference. I haven't played the game, but apparently, like, noodles are like, I don't know.
At least I don't live off convenience store food. Or make poor, unassuming pressure cookers explode.
Not the pressure cookers.
What? How did you... Oh, come on, Zach.
Sorry, it just came up while we were cooking earlier.
I'm impressed, Ashton Frey. You even made it to the news.
A one-time thing. And it wasn't as big as you seem to be imagining.
Oh, sure. Let's all pretend that one time you almost set my apartment on fire didn't happen too.
Hey, that was an accident.
What? So you intentionally made the pressure cooker
You were making
explode.
a salad, Ash.
Oh.
Can we please move on to a different topic?
It helps. The casual talk, the harmless teasing, the mundane stories interesting enough to let time pass unnoticed. By the time lunch ends, the shadows are no longer at the forefront of my mind. Just the same for Isabella, or whatever troubles her, you can never tell. These things, the anxiety, the fear, ain't easily seen, ain't easily forgotten after all.
You go on ahead. I've got a few things I need to ask Zach. I'll be downstairs in a minute.
Confusion briefly flashes in her eyes as she catches the keys he tosses over. But he doesn't give her an answer and waves for her to go ahead.
How sure are you I won't be driving away with your Shirley?
Ooh,
You don't
Shirley!
even have a license. Do you even know how to?
Papa taught me how. I'm probably a better driver than you. See you later, Zach. Thanks for the food.
Always has to have the last word, don't you?
You're welcome. I'll send you the recipe for the potatoes tonight.
Oh, I thought he said the receipt. I thought he's gonna charge you. A grin is back on her face when she leaves and closes the door behind her. For a little while after left alone, Ash goes wholly quiet, listening, waiting for her remaining footsteps in the hall to fade. The earlier amusement is gone from his face, replaced by what I can only describe as trepidation. I know that look all too well. When he's like this, he's expecting stuff to go down at some point soon.
That wasn't very nice, Ash. What was that with Isabella earlier? You're usually subtler with your questions.
They hired you.
Oh, right.
Hired me who? Don't change the subject yet. What's really going on here?
The Wrights. Luke and Hannah Wright. You said your next gig is with them.
Is that what this is all about?
Just be careful around them. You have no idea what you're dealing with when it comes to that couple. I'd rather you stay as far away from them as possible, but you're already here. Isabella's their real estate agent. Seriously, of all the people in Luxburn.
Okay. I guess I'll just have to take your word for it.
He nods, claps a comforting hand on my back, and turns to leave without another word. He's never been good with those. More often he fumbles with what he wants to say, but his actions alone are enough to tell me how grateful he is for the trust. He reaches for the knob as soon as he gets to the door, but doesn't turn it. Instead, he looks back and gestures with his head towards the table. I don't need to follow his line of sight to know what he's going to ask about. He's likely taken notice of it the moment he entered the room.
You back on those? I haven't seen you taking them in a year.
Yeah, I kinda had to. It got worse after the film fest. The dreams, that is. I don't think I'll be doing that again anytime soon.
Heard about that. Don't drop it, though. You don't want Becca scolding you. She actually enjoyed the movie you made, and she's hard to please.
Yeah, compared to me, I hated it.
Consider that a small victory.
You don't have to tell me. She already did. Rebecca and Bella both gave me an earful after I said the opposite. Promised them I wouldn't, but you can never tell. Hopefully, once I feel better, I'll be able to think about it properly. Speaking of Bella, she didn't open up to me, but maybe with you and Rebecca.
Yeah, I'll try. I can't promise anything, but I'll talk to her.
Thanks. That's all I'm asking.
This time, when he reaches for the door, he lets it close fully behind him without glancing back. Mild draft sweeps into the room as I close the door behind him, slightly disturbing the papers in the nearby fridge. What's this? How far into it are we? Like 37, okay. We'll be calling it soon. Ash arrived to fetch Isabella hours later. She didn't want to leave after all the food they prepared. In the end, Ash and acquiesced and stayed. Eric's and Zach's upcoming gig were the few topics touched during the talk over breakfast. Wait, it took a few hours to cook breakfast? I mean, how long would it take Zachary to tell his story? I mean, it kind of, it didn't go through with it. So, at most, this pushing it an hour. That's like, there's no way it goes over an hour, right? So, that means they spent at least 1 hour cooking breakfast. I mean, I guess that's, if you're hungry, you're gonna want to cook as soon as possible. I'll stand down. A lone note flutters by my feet. The letters on the surface glaring at me with mute intensity. Is it the letter? Oh no. Ermengarde Mansion, Hannah Wright, 11 a.m. for luxury living. Creation's warnings. They all hold a different meaning now. Let's skip show. Now, let me look at the flowchart for this. I think I want to go Ash again. I think I did that the first time. Let me look. So Hannah's, you get Hannah points. What's this scary music? You can get 2 Hannah points? Ooh, 3 Hannah points and 1 Mary Ann point. Okay, trying to find the Ashton one. Yeah, you can. Basically, I want Ashton points. That's just. Isabella's kind of done the same thing, didn't she? Are we on a new place now? I basically just want to stop it at a new scene. Yep, looks like we're there. Oh, he's going to see Ashton right now. And this is in the alive ending because, you know, last time she was kind of dead. So, you know, everything's kind of different. Anyway, I'll be back next time with some more. I almost said Luxburn. No, I'll be back next time with some of the letters. Does the load screen say? Oh. There's Luxburn. Okay. Not going insane. I'll see you guys next time with some more of the letter. Probably be tomorrow. You know, after I take this bath. Let's just play some more, you know. Studying shmoneying. That's what I always say. Let's just play the letter. It's the best way to study. Yeah, I gotta go now. You gotta go get prepared to get a... I think I'm gonna get a 100. Yeah, that seems possible. No. Just, you know what? Remember the classic age-old saying, C's get degrees. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.